Today I'm going to show you guys both the Teal Dotted Trail and the Teal Trail. You can access these paths a couple different ways. The way we will show you today is via McCaffrey Lane, directly in front of the Booton entrance to the White Trail. These paths are the newest additions to the Tourne. They were officially put into place during the fall of 2025. Some interesting facts about this trail. Number one, you can see a massive stone wall that goes through it. You will travel next to this stone wall for a while, and it eventually stops at McCaffrey Lane on the one side, and it heads further down the trail on the other side. Of all the stone walls, this is one of the largest at the Tourne. This path is also very popular for biking. It's a relatively short trail. The Teal Dot portion is about 0.2 miles, whereas the Teal version is about 0.4 miles. Overall, 0.6 miles, just over a half mile in length. As you can see, this large stone wall will accompany you as you travel during the early portion of this path. Eventually, this will link up with the Teal Trail, which will head farther away from McCaffrey Lane and deeper into the woods. It will then take a looping right and end by linking up and turning into the Red Trail. In the description of these videos, I always make sure to put accurate recordings of the trail lengths, because sometimes, especially during my earlier videos, I was doing more estimations of how long the trails were. And sometimes as you're talking, carrying a walking stick, carrying an umbrella in this case today because of the rain, looking out for bears, dogs down on leashes, other things, sometimes it's hard to talk and accurately give explanations. So when in doubt, just look at the description of the video, where I'll always be very accurate in listing the trail lengths. As you can see, we are now linking up with the Teal Trail. If we would continue, we would eventually hit McCaffrey Lane right by the upper west side parking lot by the playground. And technically, the entrance of the Teal Trail does start up ahead, but we won't walk down that portion. It's only about 20 yards. And we will link up with the Teal Trail right here where it intersects with the Teal Dotted path. As you could tell, the Teal Dotted path was not very long. Only about 0.2 miles in length. I recently did some exploring in the woods around this path over the winter to see how long that stone wall I showed you guys went into the woods. And actually, I went about 50 to 100 yards ahead on the path, and then I went off the path and was able to link up with the stone wall again. So the stone wall does travel for a decent length, but unfortunately it was so grown up I couldn't follow it either back to the entrance of the Teal Dotted Trail or in the opposite direction, so I was unable to determine its official length. So right now, if you would travel off the path and walk straight back, you would actually link up with that wall I just showed you. Here's another stone wall. I originally wanted to walk down this wall and see if it intersected at a 90-degree angle with the other larger wall, but again, it's really grown up and hard to do. One of these days I'm going to feature a wall video, probably this fall or winter, where I'll show you guys all the walls at the Tourne and how to find them. But again, you can only really do this type of exploration in the winter. Other times of the year, it's just not safe or practicable. Sometimes I think what they would do back in the day, and maybe they even still do this now in rural areas, you just have a rock pile in a certain area, and then if you need to build a wall, you know where you can access all these good rocks. So there's a lot of walls, there's a lot of need for walls. There's a lot of need for walls a couple hundred years ago, so they probably had a couple different rock piles around here, and then if they needed to build a wall, they knew where to go. There's actually a couple other of these big rock piles throughout the Tourne that I've found. One nice aspect about the Tourne is that they have a bunch of different trails that are a bunch of different lengths. So if you want to go for a long hike, you can do that. Or if you only have maybe 20 or 30 minutes, they have trails for that. It's perfect for people in more urban areas trying to get here to just spend an hour or two in the woods. Now to the left of us is the Pink Trail. And there's a side path I showed you guys on the Pink Trail that I said could lead to the Teal path. And we are coming to that path right now. And this is that path. If we wanted, we could go to the Pink Trail and head back to the White Trail and head to the parking lot. Once again, it's another really cold day in late March. It is March 23rd, and it is in the mid-30s, cold and rainy. And here we are coming to the end of the Teal Trail, where it will then link up with the Red Trail that you can take back to McCaffrey Lane.